Hi everyone, it's me, Beatty Kelly Sunflower. So I thought I'd hop on today and do a June and mid-July reflections video. So in this video, I want to talk about books that I read in June, dolls that I added to my collection in June, and some accessories that I got for my dolls, decks that I worked with in June, decks that I received in June, and also decks that I have received recently because I've had a lot of pre-orders that have come in. So I thought I'd show those as well. Okay, so I want to first of all talk about my book that I selected for my book club. So I read the back of the book for you. A poignant and shocking memoir of a foster carer's relationship with a young boy whose good behaviour and polite manners hid a terrible past. So I'll read you the first page here just to give you a bit of a background about the book, but I don't want to say too much. As soon as Tayo was brought to Cathy's home for placement, she was puzzled. The social worker had no records of Tayo, no school files, family history or medical records. It was as if Tayo didn't exist. Tayo maintained strict silence when Cathy asked about his past. Only when she glimpsed a scar on his arm did Tayo's story gradually begin to unfold. Cathy learned of his adoption by his drink and drug-dependent mother and a sinister van with blackened windows that picked him up every morning at daybreak and ferried him across London. In her 23 years as a foster carer, Cathy has never seen a case as horrific as Tayo's, nor has she met a boy with such loyalty, inner resolve and strength. I'll just read you the prologue, it's just a page or so. There are 11.8 million children known to be living in the UK, but it is thought that there could be many as 1 million other children living here who are unregistered and therefore unknown. Some have been trafficked into the country to work in the sex industry or as cheap labour in our sweatshops. Others have been smuggled in or sent from third world countries by desperate parents to be privately fostered in the hope of saving them from abject poverty at home. Some will have come in on forged passports or under visitors' visas that have since expired. Others may have been born here to parents who are not themselves registered. No one really knows the true picture, but these children live isolated and they are outside our society, unprotected and vulnerable. They only come to our attention when something goes dreadfully wrong. This is the story of one such child who came into my care. Certain details, including names, placements and dates, have been changed to protect the child. So this book was published in 2007 by Harper Element Publishing. It's also available on audiobook, so I will leave this book in the description bar if anybody's interested. But I have got a lot of books by this woman and I really like her writing style. Okay, so let's move on to doll accessories. So I bought this wardrobe, from AliExpress, but it came to me broken. Can you see? It came cracked. I kind of tried to glue it together. What I like about this wardrobe is that it reminds me of the old-fashioned wardrobes we used to have at home in the 70s. But when I opened it up, I thought there'd be like a rail to hang my Blythe doll clothes in, but it's just got like shelves. So I decided to use it for my Blythe shoes, and the bottom shelf or drawer, which can open as well, I'm going to use that for probably socks or something like that. But AliExpress did give me a full refund because it did come broken and I just glued it together. So I'm going to make some use of it. Okay, so Blythe dolls. I know that I said I wouldn't buy any more factory dolls, but I couldn't help it. So this beautiful doll was on sale. So AliExpress had a sale in June and she was reduced to something like £12. I couldn't resist it. She's got a lovely set of hair. And I used like a wide tooth comb to comb it with. And I just bought like an outfit for her, like with a headband, dress, bra knickers, ankle socks. She's got the standard Blythe eyes that change colour. So you get the brown side-eyed, kind of pinky forward facing, grey side-eyed and blue forward-facing. Her hair is kind of like mixed-race hair. Well, she's a mixed-race doll. That they call her dark, but I don't call this dark. I call this more like a mixed-race looking doll. Her hair is like hair type 3. So I've got another Blythe doll called Sugar Puff, and her hair is really kind of coarse, but this doll's hair is really kind of soft, and if you brush it down, you can brush it straight. So, and I've called this doll Sweet Red Wine. So hello, Sweet Red Wine. She's really cute, and obviously she's quite flexible and stuff. So another Blythe doll that I got on that same sale is Annie. She reminds me of Annie from the musical. She's got more coarse, even though her hair's afro like Sweet Red Wine's, it's more of a different hair texture. This is more like a tighter hair texture. She's fully rooted and stuff. She's got such a moody face. Again, she's bendable. Dressed her in this nice kind of dress with shoes and socks, because all my dolls have got their summer clothes now, and she's got the same colour eyes as Sweet Red Wine, and she again was £12. But with AliExpress, they put their dolls on for a certain price, and when you pay for it, you pay tax. I think altogether with the tax it was about £14, including the shipping. I find with these dolls that have got like the afro hair, wide tooth afro combs really work well when combing their hair. So this is my lovely Annie. So, decks. I got both these decks from Oneness Emporium. And I think that I might have got them in the end of May, but I definitely used them in June. I had this deck on pre-order, which was the Mystic Palette Tarot by Chira Machete. I got the sepia version. This card here, which is, I think it's the 9 of Swords or the 8 of Swords, has got like a typo on it, so he was given the correct card. Really, really, really big cards, matte finished. Oh dear, hang on. Beautiful backs that are reversible. I may even get the colour version of this. I'm still thinking about it. But I worked with this deck for the month of June. It works really well with Between the Worlds Oracle. The colour palette is very, very similar. I know that they're different sizes. These are the backs of the Oracle deck. But I think the colour palette goes really well together. And they work really well. These are like card versions of like trinkets. I do wish that there was a keyword for each one, because you know it gets tiresome having to look in the guidebook for what they mean, but they work well together as a system, and as a system they give very accurate readings. So as well as going to my book group in June, I also go to this event every month. It's called the Menopause Cathy. For a group of women who are in kind of menopause or perimenopause, they meet up and for about an hour and a half, and you get all the top gynecologists in my local borough and speaking, and you get all the services that are around. And it's a shame because I heard about this through like some of my jolly hockey stick friends, you know, some of my middle class friends. They told me about the Cathy. It's not well advertised, and it's a shame because there's a lot of women in my borough that are suffering with the menopause, and there's nowhere to go to get information unless you're in a certain circle, which is bad really, and it's really fully funded. So somebody recommended this deck for me. It's 100 cards, and it just basically gives you information on the menopause. So the first card is what is menopause, and it tells you what the menopause is, when can it happen, perimenopause, the menopause itself, post-menopause, why do we go through it, grandmother hypothesis, God, that makes you sound so old, reducing maternal risks, evolutionary perspective, and it's got different colours for different kind of topics. So he's got here your journey, your symptoms of menopause, irregular periods, of cessations of periods, vagina dryness, mood changes, fatigue, and so on and so forth. So it's just got quite a lot of cards for information. In my group, we do have one male who was born female, so because of his birth sex, he's having menopausal kind of symptoms, so he's there. And also there's a couple of partners to some of the women that are in the group, because they want to know, or try and understand their partner's behaviour, so they can support their partners more. So it's a really good group, and these cards to me are very good for trying to understand the menopause. So I also got this deck in the month of June. It's an oracle deck, a Compendium of Witches Oracle by Natasha Ilinick. I don't actually like this deck, to be quite honest. It's not my cup of tea. I'm just not connecting to it. But it's got beautiful artwork. Got the backs of the cards, very Celtic. But I just don't get it. I just can't work with it. The guidebook's kind of very informative and stuff, but I just don't know how to work with it, I just don't understand the system. It's by Lascarabo, and it gives quite good explanations for each of the cards, but it's not all decks that you kind of gel with, and unfortunately this is not for me, so it's going straight into my purgatory box. I also bought a couple of log books, so one for my book group and one for my dolls. So let's have a look at the book group one first. So because I've got a lot of books to read this year for my book group, I thought I'd buy a log so I can log it. You can log up to 100 books. So I've started to write in the hidden one, but I haven't written the review yet. I'll be doing that this week. So I put the title of the book, the author. I bought it, but I haven't ticked that. I haven't ticked with it, fiction or non-fiction. But you got the publisher's date, the publisher, the page count, and then is it a paperback? Is it a hardback? Is it an ebook? Is it an audio book? And then you can put your rating. So I thought this would be good just to keep track of all the books that I'm reading. And then if I like a particular author, or I like a particular writing style, or publisher, that will help me select further books in the future. Now for my dolls, I thought it would be best if I log them. So this is called A Doll's Inventory Logbook and Collection Journal. And so what it is, you put the name of the doll. So the first doll that I put here is called Bluebell. The ID number, she's got one. Because I made her myself, she's a doll that I knitted. Yes, I put maker myself, a boss date the year I knitted her, which was 2010. Doll type, I might put ragdoll in there. And then storage location on my doll bookshelf. The size, eye colour, hair colour, body texture, materials used, physical features, and then condition, purchase date, purchase amount, bought from, how much the doll's worth, sold date, sold amount, personal rating, and then just some observations. So I bought this in the month of June. A few more decks that I worked with in June. They work really well together as a pair. Seeking Soul Tarot. I got this deck, I think it was last year, from Kickstarter. I love the colour palette of this one. And this is a mass market kind of affirmation deck. It's called Ahead of the Curve. 52 beautiful illustrated body affirmation for self-love and acceptance. I think they work well together. Every morning I've been shuffling a card and it comes with a stand. So the card that I got for today is, I have the power to make decisions about my exercise and nutrition that are in alignment with my values and goals. But the colour palette is really, really nice. I don't need to confirm my body standards. It's just a beautiful deck. And this one's also a lovely deck. To Daisy. So I ordered a couple of Ethne decks from Amazon. But after I placed the order, Cheryl from Oneness Emporium started stocking them in her shop. I do love an Ethne deck, but what it is with Ethne's decks, the postage is always like the same price as the deck, so you're paying like double. But I think these were about £18 and I think £21 from Amazon.uk. That was in late June. So let's just open these decks up. See, I always like Ethne's guidebook. She always has a very thick, informative guidebook that's well written. It's not waffly. I do like her writing style. And this is the back of the cards. And then they came with a Ethne thank you cards. That's how you know that they're legit. And also these cards are really nicely gilded. Every single one of Ethne's decks that I own, the gilding never ever comes off. I don't know how she gilds her deck, but these are good for altar cards, to be quite honest. They're just like modern kind of goddesses. I think it's 49 goddesses and then 16 empowering archetypal cards. And then I also ordered the Penumbra Tarot. Again, comes with a very nice thick guidebook that's always well written and gives you lots of explanations. You get like a thank you card again from Ethne. That's how you know it's legit, because sometimes you get a bit worried ordering things from Amazon. What indie decks from Amazon, I should say. And it's just a really nice kind of like colourful deck. I've actually done a couple of readings with this deck and it gives okay readings. It's got like a very masculine feel to me. I don't know why. Okay, so this is the Penumbra Tarot. So I want to talk about the Steele Wizard Tarot. This was another purchase from Cheryl, Oneness Emporium shop. It comes with a really nice thick guidebook in a box. I'll show you the guidebook. So the guidebook's quite thick. And it's colour illustrated. Because it's such a big box, I just tend to carry the cards around in this velvet pull-string bag. These cards are really beautiful. They kind of remind me of the old school shiny shiffer cards. This is what the quality reminds me of. But they're really well drawn. Plain, lovely backs. They're not in order because I've been working with this deck quite a lot. But it's just kind of like really nice almost hand-drawn pictures. There's some extra major cards, and the suits are color-coded. So the swords are blue, which is interesting because blue to me would be more cups. It's this really nice artwork. The pentacles are red. The major arcana is purple, so this is another extra major arcana card, truth. The wands are kind of like this kind of yellowish kind of colour. And the cups are kind of like this teal green. So it's a really nice deck. I like the colour palette and the kind of illustrations as well. Another deck that I've been working with is the Jolanda Tarot. I did do a video side-by-side comparison of this latest mass market deck and the older deck. It also came in a box with a guidebook, and I've misplaced it. I don't know where I put it, but I will link the video to this that I've done in the description bar should anybody want to watch it. But this is more of a FOF based deck. Okay, so Jolanda Tarot. This deck arrived last week. Cathy Tarot by Pamela Shen and artwork by Delphine Dion. It's like a cat-based Rider-Waite-Smith deck. I do have 2 other decks by Pamela Shen. I think Crystal Unicorn, and there's another one, I can't remember what it's called. But I do like a kind of whimsical artwork. I haven't opened it up yet, as you can see, so I can't actually show the cards. This deck's gone into my unopened pile of decks. And also last week I received this season of the Witch Lammas Oracle, which I had on pre-order. And again, I haven't opened up this deck either. Tarot for You and Me, a queer deck and guidebook. I've done a flick through of this deck, and it's a really interesting deck. I really like working with it. It's not in order at the moment because I've used it quite a bit, but it's just got a nice colour palette. It's the back of the cards. It's got like a very kind of like youngish aura about it. Siblings of chalices. So some of the court cards have been changed. And the flags. The house mother. The lanterns. So the suits have been changed. Chalices are cups. Plants are earth. So the child of plants would be the page of pentacles in this traditional deck. Things have changed. That's the Wheel of Fortune. So there's a few name changes. But the guidebook is quite thick for a little white book, and it gives you a lot of explanations in it and colour illustrations. But as you can see, my one's fallen apart. I don't know why. The Artist Decoded Tarot arrived last week. It's a mass market deck. I had it on pre-order. It's got like a nice kind of, I don't know if it's between a paperback and a hardback. It's like a soft hardback book. And then the deck comes in a box with another box. This deck kind of reminds me of the Textured Tarot. I don't know why. But I've been working with this deck for the last couple of days and I love it. It's just got beautiful illustrations. The back of the cards, beautiful. It's Rider-Waite-Smith inspired. And I don't know whether it's a melanated deck or not, because the people look like they're of colour to me, but they might not be, because they could be just silhouettes that have been collaged. But I just like the artwork. It's beautiful. Knight of Swords. Queen of Swords. Queen of Pentacles. Right, moving on to Kickstarters. I received 3 Kickstarter decks in the month of June and mid-July. So the first one is called the Cosmic Wisdom Tarot by Affirmation. I had done a flip through of this deck and I will leave it in the description bar. I love the guidebook. It's like a spider graph. Do you when you do notes and you do them in a spider graph format? But it's got enough information on there as well. It's just really nicely written. The guidebook and the cards. Again, are gilded, as you can see. The first edition, limited print of 2023. I'm sure that I got this deck this year though. Maybe that's when it was devised and Effie signed it. And it's just like a Rider-Waite-Smith inspired tarot deck with a little border. It's just beautiful. It's got 2 lovers cards because you know, one's got coverings if you're a bit prudish and the other one's showing private parts and stuff, you know. Look at the Chariot of 2 horses. But I have got a walk through this deck and I will link it in the description bar if anybody's interested in watching it. Second Kickstarter that I got, and this was this month, July, was the Fat Folk Tarot deck and guidebook. This is a long awaited deck. It came with a couple of stickers. The author also sent us a PDF, which is exactly the same as this guidebook, and I do prefer a guidebook. The thing is though, the actual pictures are at the back of the book, and I would have preferred it if they put the pictures in with the explanations so that they're both there together. I've seen mixed reviews on YouTube about this second edition, because this is the second edition. I don't have the first edition to compare it to, even though I was trying to get the first edition for quite a while. I like the fact that it embraces larger women, because I am quite full-figured myself. Look at the Knight of Wands. Beautiful. Kind of cartoonish. But what I didn't like about this deck, though, is that some of the artwork is completely different. So I don't know if it's a collaboration, but that artwork is completely different to that artwork, you know? It's not done by the same artist, and it's obvious. Whereas some decks can be like a collaboration, and you wouldn't necessarily know that they've been done by different artists, but on this one you can tell. But even though, like, even that's quite different, again, that's not as cartoonish. So there's quite a few different artists. But I like the fact that it's embracing full-figuredness, and I'm so happy to have this deck in my collection. So this is the Fat Folk Tarot. The last tarot deck that I got is called the Naked Truth Tarot, first edition. This is a Kickstarter, and it came last week. May this tarot deck bring you many years of fun reading. With love, Mustafa. In nudity, we find the unspoken truth of existence, a candid dance of light and shadow, revealing the soul's rawest form. Beautiful. And it comes with like a little white book. And I like the fact that he's used paper, natural paper, to kind of hold the cards together. It's just really nice. It's really buttery. It's a really beautiful kind of deck. I've seen a couple of walkthroughs of this deck as well since I've got it. There are a mixture of, there is a bit of diversity in this deck, but it's still a nice deck whether it's diverse or not. I actually quite like it. Look at that, the Temperance, the Devil, it's a really beautiful deck. Thank you so much for watching, and I will leave links in the video of my dolls accessories and books and decks that I've showcased in this video. See you later. Bye for now.